Wicked Bitter.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wicked Bitter podcast. I am Travis, and I am with Josh.
A.K.A. Lupe Tabasco, A.K.A. Lunesta, A.K.A. Dunkaroo, A.K.A. Get Off My Swamp, A.K.A. Hat Trick Swayze, A.K.A. Your favorite.
And I'm here with Mike.
Hello.
And as always, we are here with T. Everybody say hi to T. T. Mike, you gotta say hi to T. Say hi to T. Okay. Today we got two guests for the price of
Patrick
one.
Swayze.
It's a discount.
Can I get through this?
Go for it.
Can I bring in the other two guys that are with us?
Go for it.
We got two guys with us today. We got Jamal coming back from our last episode, from the draft episode where we predicted our first top 10 picks or whatever. And we also got Matt, who actually joined us a few episodes ago when we talked about the Red Sox. He was there for like 10 minutes because he was cooking fish. He's good now. He's good now. It's Sunday. It's Sunday morning. There's no fish being cooked early Sunday morning.
A.K.A. Fish Fryer.
AKA Fish Boy. Okay, so we got Matt and Jamal. What's up, guys?
How's it going? What's going on?
Nothing, man. This
Hello,
is
kid.
just what we're doing. This is it today.
Yeah.
We're all freaking goofy.
We have
'cause
nothing
it's
else to do.
early on Sunday morning.
You should be in church.
Jamal's got like 4 hours of sleep. Try to chase him down.
I'm a little short on the sleep, but it sounds like Mike slept less than I did. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Incredibly sore.
Just having a riot.
I'm
over
working
here.
out in the yard, but yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, before we get started, can I ask you guys a real question? Have you ever showered with a sunburn? Because it's the worst freaking thing
my
I've ever been through in
God.
my life.
Mm.
Dude, I'm a lobster right now, and I went to go shower this morning, and dude, when that hot water, like I don't like taking cold showers that much. I mean, it has to be like super hot outside for me to do it. But when I take a regular shower, like lukewarm to hot, it doesn't matter. When you have a sunburn, like you feel like it's ripping off your skin, and like you're about to die.
Yeah, I have half of my face is pretty much sunburnt. and
We gotta get a
half
picture
my
of Josh's
neck is
face up
sunburnt.
on the thing.
And I felt like
Well-
half of my face was ripping off.
Hey,
Well, we're up in here in Massachusetts, so we haven't had any type of burn yet. Thanks for rubbing it in, guys.
oh, sorry. Yeah, he's got like a white tip on his nose, and then the rest of it's all freaking red. It looks- and then, like, I think
Standing out
my
in the
face.
sun in the freaking ballpark all day.
I think my face is the same way, where it shows like our well, for me, it shows my glasses line. Like it shows like my face is red, but then you can see the white line from my glasses, plus the white line from
that's a good
the white line from the mask that we wear.
Yeah,
It's-
that's why my nose is
it's
like
just
that.
randomly on his face.
Because I was wearing the mask underneath there.
You couldn't, Travis. You couldn't tie that into an AKA Josh's face. You couldn't have fixed that. Squeeze that in there.
AKA
done
Rudolph
that.
the Red-Nosed
Sunburn.
Reindeer.
It's white nose. White nose.
All right,
I don't think I burned.
This is
I don't
starting
think
out
I've done
pretty
that.
well.
I don't know if you burn, Matt. You're kind of dark skinned.
Yeah, I usually just get a tan.
AKA
well,
my
I'm
life's
lucky
a
with-
wreck.
Oh, good for you. What a way to brag about it.
Yeah,
I just tan.
You asked.
I don't burn like you white ass.
Well, the show's taking a dark turn.
It's taking a light turn, a red turn.
Are we talking about sunburns this episode, or
This is for years of frustration I've had against Matt is that he can tan and I burn, and I'm letting it all out right now.
Yeah, I tell you, the whole fun about this program is the AKA,
Yeah.
God made me beautiful.
and it's
It's
started
literally the
out.
only-
It's my favorite.
It's what I look forward to in every episode.
It's literally the only thing worth listening to. I
Exactly.
feel like people start the episode, and after he's done doing that, they just turn it off.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
that's only
Patrick
thing-
Shut it
Swayze
off,
was
yeah.
pretty good today.
Yeah.
hat trick Swayze?
Hat tricks.
Oh,
Hat trick.
Oh, hat trick.
Yeah,
Little play on words.
like hockey.
It sounded like Patrick Swayze. I'm like, what?
AKA Dirty Dancing.
It's like, where did that came from? Patrick Swayze. What?
All right.
Lord.
Dude, this is gonna be a bad episode. It's been a
I
long
thought
time.
I was-
It's
I thought
almost
I was
over.
the
We
one-
haven't even
I
covered
thought
the
I was
first
one
draft.
sleep deprived.
I dropped my wiener whistle and I almost broke the chair.
For who has not listened to these episodes, they're like wiener whistle. What the
Oh
hell?
boy.
No, I've heard about the whistle. I've heard enough. I'm not gonna.
It's the smallest thing, and it's sitting on the table that
Yeah.
I'm on. It's literally like,
That's what she said.
oh, it's a small wiener. It's not that bad. It gets the job done. All right. All right. Dude,
It's the motion in the ocean.
It's been a long time since all 5 of us have like sat down and talked, so I feel like we're not going to get through any of this, but we're going to have to try to get through some of it. First night of the draft, we did the predictions before it started. We did the first like 10 picks or whatever. I was laying in bed with a pen and paper, watching the first 10 picks, and I was writing them all down. And I told Mike about it today, and Mike goes, "What? You could have just printed it out, you know." He's like, he's like, "I don't know why you went through all of that. You didn't have to go through all that."
This is 2021.
It's true. I mean, if you look at my tape, look at the comparison of tables right now. I wish you guys could see it. My table has a cluster of shit, but it's got a notepad with a pen. Josh's table has absolutely nothing on it.
Bottle of water and some memorabilia and my phone.
Yeah, and then Mike's table has papers like everywhere. This dude looks like he's doing the draft right now. He's like in the boardroom ready to pick somebody. All right.
See, when I write stuff down, I tend to memorize a little bit of it. That's why I'd rather write it down than print it.
That's like me, because I'm actually listening it and writing it instead of printing it.
Right.
Travis, I do the same thing. I wrote it down. We're from the old school. We write stuff down.
How are we from the old school, but my dad's not?
I just don't want to do the
your
work.
dad's still out there playing basketball and baseball, so it's just different.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do all the work. I just want to print. That's
print
it.
shit out.
Click.
All right. So number one, I guess everybody in the world was right about it. Trevor Lawrence got picked for the Jags. Obviously, that's
Sunshine.
Yeah, sunshine. That flow. I mean, that's a good pick. Obviously, it's Trevor Lawrence. We all think that's the right pick for them, right?
Trevor Lawrence was no more one pick 2 years ago, so everybody knew he was going to go number one.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to ask you guys about the next pick, Zach Wilson, when he went to the Jets. Do you guys have some sort of explanation or reasoning or an inkling why they went with Wilson instead of a guy like what's his name for the Bears?
Justin Fields.
Or what's the other dude? Trey Lance? Is it
Trey Lance for 49ers.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones for New England.
The thing with Justin Fields is a lot of people were saying he started slipping because he has a little bit of health issues and apparently has some ball security issues, a lot of fumbles. I didn't think he was going to fall that far, but I think that's why the Jets ended up going with Zach Wilson, because it was reported that the Niners traded all that up because they were expecting Zach Wilson to be there at 3.
Right.
Yeah, that's just
right.
I didn't even hear about Zach Wilson until he actually got picked number 2, and I'm like, how have I heard like three names, 3 of the same 4 names every single day leading up to this draft, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere comes Zach Wilson. That dude, that's a good looking kid though. Got a nice face, that guy.
It happens every draft though. It really does. Every draft is the guy that just pops out of nowhere.
Doesn't he?
He looks like Pat Mahomes.
He plays a lot like Pat Mahomes. Doesn't he?
Wilson?
Fields.
Yeah.
Oh, Fields.
I
Yeah,
think
so.
part of the problem is he played for Brigham Young, which is not like a coveted school.
Correct.
It's not your Alabama.
I was just
your
thinking
LSU,
about
so
that.
Yeah.
It's not really. Same thing with Trey Lance. He played for North Dakota
Exactly.
State. It's just not like a coveted college where it's like.
I kind of like that about the draft, though. Like, I forgot who it was. It might have been when Zach Wilson was up to get picked. Like, you know how the analysts talk about, it's definitely got to be this guy. They're going to go pick this guy. And then they show a whole freaking video package. It takes like 3 minutes of the
I'll
guy.
tell you one thing.
And then all of a sudden, it's not the guy who they picked. It's freaking Zach Wilson comes out instead of Justin
Right.
Fields.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I'll tell you one
For the
thing.
49ers.
Go ahead. What'd you say?
They did that for the 49ers where they played the whole Mac Jones video for 3 minutes and then they picked Trey Lance.
That's what I was. Yeah, it was that one. That's what I was talking about.
I think that was a decoy, to be honest with you. I think if Trey Lance was there for the taking, New England would have taken him instead. But because the 49ers paid so much to move up in that third slot, New England was like, forget it now. We'll just stay put and don't waste our picks on somebody else.
So do you think with the San Fran picking Trey Lance that he starts, or is Garoppolo still in the mix, or does Garoppolo get traded? What do you guys think?
I think Garoppolo.
Honestly, if I
plays.
could say something,
Yeah.
I want to crush that pick. I think that was the worst pick of the draft.
Trey Lance?
Trey. I don't think Trey Lance is the worst pick as far as just somebody picking him, but to trade 2 first-round picks
Exactly.
to get a quarterback who's not ready to play,
Right.
who's probably going to have to sit
Right.
to mortgage all that for you mortgage all that if you're ready for a quarterback to win now. You don't do it for somebody who has to sit.
I agree.
He's a project. He's a project.
I agree. They paid a lot for him. But, I mean, he's got great talent, big guy. He can scramble out of the pocket. He's got a good arm. He's very intelligent. I mean, the guy could learn a playbook real quick.
He has upside. He does.
But they spent a lot of money to move up to that third pick. And
For somebody who's going to
stay
sit at
one
least
behind.
6 games, Mike.
he will
Yeah, he's gonna
sit
sit at least
behind
6 games.
Garoppolo 1 year. He will sit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he will.
Absolutely.
I wrote it down because I thought it was interesting when they picked him, and it surprised like a lot of people or everybody. When Trey Lance was walking out, they ran a little like tag underneath him, and it said he had 318 career touchdown passes in college or whatever. And then it said right next to that, it's the fewest by a quarterback picked in the first round in like
No
40
passes,
in
not
40 years.
not touchdowns.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
throws.
pass touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was the fewest by a quarterback.
Yeah, they said
picked
he
in the
only
first round.
has he only has like 17 games of tape, and if you think about it, that's one NFL season.
It wasn't.
And a lot of these other college guys have like 2 or 3 seasons, so it's more to look at. And he played against nobody, like no competition.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fewest passing touchdowns.
North Dakota
Like,
State.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He's had the fewest.
that's a lot to give up on a 20 cost because you're really flipping a coin hoping he works out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, like,
So-
how many yards did he throw for though?
2,800, I believe.
2,800.
Yeah, that's nothing. In 17 games and against bad defenses in colleges, that's nothing.
I mean, obviously he's a mobile quarterback. He probably ran in for some of his touchdowns or whatever, but still, I thought that
Yeah,
was
but
kind
you
of
know-
I thought that was kind of interesting.
You know, like I know you can't do that in the NFL unless you're one of the elite running quarterbacks.
Yeah, and that's
you
what I
know?
was saying while watching the draft. Like, I like the draft and everything. I never really watched that much of it any year. This was the first year I actually paid attention as much as I did. But the thing is, with college, you're hyping up all of these kids coming out of there, and then you're showing video packages. And when you show the video packages, you see like a running back tearing through like a broken down defense that's just garbage, or like. You know, because
Yep.
college scores go up to like 60 points almost every game. It's insane. So and I'm always like, you know, when they get to the pros, when they get to NFL, it's gonna be a whole different story for maybe 98 to 99% of all of these guys. They're not
be
gonna.
facing grown men out there.
They're not playing with the little boys anymore.
It's not even just like the grown man aspect of it. I try to explain this to people all the time. When you're in college, like I hate to say it like this, but this is the reality of it. You're playing against doctors and lawyers and teachers and whatever they're taking up because 90% of them aren't going to the NFL. So you're going to be the fastest person on the field many days. You're going to be the best player on the field many of times, especially if you come from a top tier school like Alabama. You're going to have like 5 of the best players on the field all on your side. When you go to the NFL, everybody is about that life. You know what I mean?
That's funny though. Imagine like some dude's going there he's going there to get his doctrine, or he's going to be a doctor, and and he's like, yeah, I also play wide receiver too for the football team. It's like,
Yeah,
no.
but Travis, that's what it is. That's what you're playing
Right?
against.
Not bad to fall
Most
on,
of the
right?
time,
Not bad.
most of the time, you're just playing the first 3 rounds. The 4th, 5th, and 6th, the end of those last rounds, most of those guys don't even make it to the practice squad.
Yeah.
It's either practice squad. If they do make the team, it's special teams. They're not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm studying to be a lawyer, but I also am starting quarterback.
But watch me throw this. Watch me throw this beautiful pass.
But listen, if you ever get caught with drugs, call me up because I can bail you out.
What do you play for the Gators?
I don't know.
Who's it?
Who?
Trey Lance?
Trey Lance. Trey Lance.
He
Where did
played
he come
Dakota
from?
State.
North Dakota State. Yep.
No. I was talking about your joke because you said the drugs.
I messed
That
up.
Florida Gators team had all those.
Oh.
They had all those criminals on
Yeah.
that team.
What a way for me to ruin the joke.
Hernandez, right?
Yeah, you guys all. No, you guys all
Hernandez
killed it. I shouldn't have. You know what? It's early. I shouldn't have used it. Yeah, you guys are
Hernandez
awake.
was
I shouldn't
there.
have used it.
Can we go with the Bengals? I just want to skip Atlanta with the Pitts pick. It's whatever.
Yeah,
I was gonna say-
that's that. We already know that is.
Yeah.
That's blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We know.
It's not like a huge
Kittles all over you.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge surprise or anything like that. But the Bengals,
Yeah.
I think everybody were assuming that maybe the Bengals would pick some O-line help to help Burrow stop getting his ass whipped every single game. But instead, they chose Jamar Chase, which is a nice pick. Jamar Chase was one of the top 5 wide receivers coming out of that draft. But are you guys surprised? Because I kind of am that they didn't go with an O-line or some defense or anything like that.
If anything, they should have gone with Smith, which
Devontae Smith.
correct.
Yeah.
He was the clear-cut best receiver, I thought, in my opinion, not
Heisman
coming
winner.
out of the draft. But anyway, you're right. I mean, they should have gone some more protection front.
Do you think that they maybe chose Jamar Chase because he played with Burrow? You think?
I was
I
gonna
think
say
that's the only reason.
it's the chemistry thing. I hated the pick. I don't hate it because chemistry it's an important factor in sports, but I hated it for Burrow's life because he needs some front line protection. If you got Sewell right there,
Yep.
like we talked about it before, like I think that's a no-brainer. You have to take him. He wants his friend there. I get it, but you can't let a 20-something-year-old have influence on a decision. You got to
Yeah.
keep him upright.
Well, yeah. Well, that's not the only time
Yeah,
that
I mean,
happened in this draft, though. There was other teams
I
that
know.
picked a player that was a teammate already on their team when they were back in college. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever remember seeing that before. That's
I
pretty
know
cool.
it happened a lot, but my whole thing is like with the Bengals situation. Other teams, whatever, we can get into that. But yeah, does it do any good? We've seen the Raiders with Randy Moss. Does it do any good having Randy Moss? And I'm not saying this kid's gonna be Randy Moss. I'm just throwing out an elite receiver. Does it do any good to have Randy Moss if you don't have time to get him the ball?
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. There's no
Randy
point.
Moss did nothing in Oakland. They couldn't get him the ball. The quarterback got killed.
There's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have gone with Sewell, to be honest. And going back to Devontae Smith, I think the 49ers should have taken Smith to pair him up with Deebo Samuel, but it just tells me a lot about how they feel about Garoppolo and how
Correct.
they don't trust him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Mhm.
They
right.
just gave him that big contract. They
Yeah.
gave him that big contract, and now it's like
Well,
it's
he's
not
only
looking
played 60% of the games since he's been in 49.
Yeah.
He's always been hurt.
Yeah.
So,
I
I mean,
saw a
and he's-
stat. I should have remembered
good.
it.
He's looked like a third-string quarterback when he plays too. Like some of his throws, I'm watching the game and I'm like, these are just bad throws. Like,
well, I'm glad
you're
you
not
didn't
a
get
starter in
traded to
the
New
NFL.
England, though.
So let's go into our teams. Let's talk about. So everybody listening that doesn't know, none of us here, except for Jamal, is a Panthers
The
fan.
real one.
The real
The
one.
real one.
It's funny because Jamal doesn't live.
AKA the real one.
He doesn't live in Carolina, but he's been a fan of the Panthers since their inception. And we got Josh, a Eagles fan. I am a Chargers fan. Mike is a Patriots fan. Matt is a Steelers fan. And, of course, Jamal, the Panthers fan.
And
We
what
will spend some time talking about the Panthers because we're in Carolina.
What
I feel
about
like-
T? T, what is your team?
Yeah,
Oh.
T don't care. She goes with it.
Oh,
I
boy.
forgot what team.
Go, hey, T, go with the Panthers.
He
Come
said-
on, you're
Jamal said
there.
Go with the Panthers.
Now's the time. Before it's a bandwagon, now's the time.
she's a
There will
Lions
never
fan.
be a bandwagon.
By four.
Oh, T says she just makes the cupcakes.
If anything, maybe a Giants fan.
That
'cause
sounds
you're
like
from out there.
that sounds like a Philadelphia fan.
We were watching. I think
Wow.
Oh, come
You know, hey Jamal, I'm staring at my Super Bowl ring over here. How many do you have?
Let's see. Now,
We're
this is-
working on it.
you
We're
just
working
lost
on
the
it.
call.
that was a,
I gotta drop the call.
that was a real Cowboys fans response right there.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it was
that
not.
hurt, that hurt.
All right,
I
no,
won't
it was not. Because at least I'm referring to the Super Bowl ring that happened 4 years ago, not a decade ago.
Past is the past, baby boy.
You're damn right,
Yeah, we
but
gotta-
it's
we gotta
still
move-
recent.
We gotta move on. You know,
Hey.
we gotta move on, Josh.
Who
gonna
was
be
I just about to bring up? Oh, speaking of that, T. T and I were watching a game. I forgot when. It was like last year or whatever. And this is how much of a fan she is. We were watching. I think it was Seattle versus somebody, and her only thing was, "Oh, I like their colors. I like their jerseys." That was her. As much of a fan as she is, she just looks
Yeah,
at the jerseys.
I kid you not. A lot of people say that about Seattle. Like, that's not the only person I've heard
Yeah,
say that about
Zoila's
Seattle.
the same way.
Yeah.
Zoila likes Seattle's
Mike's wife,
colors.
like Seattle. I have a friend, and he doesn't watch football, but, you know, he's just like, oh, who's this team? And I said Seahawks. He's like, oh, they look cool. I'll start rooting for them now. I was like, really?
No, it's the neon
neon,
green.
yep.
Everybody loves that
Yo, they got
neon
some
green.
fire
I
jerseys.
hate it when I see it. I want to throw up because I know Seattle's coming with it, but everybody loves it.
Yeah, dude, those jerseys are fire though. I freaking love those jerseys.
So
Yeah, I might
it's
like
the
them
perfect
now.
bandwagon team. 'cause the colors.
What you say, Matt?
It's a perfect bandwagon team because the colors are great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
no, a lot of people love that neon green. They love it.
You know what I like? I like the Chargers new jerseys. What I don't really care for that much is like the yellow tights that they wear. I could do without those. I don't know why. I like
Bunch of
the
pansies.
I like the blue tops. I like the navy tops. I like the the color rush jerseys, but I just for some reason, dude, I can't get behind the yellow tights. It's just the boys and mustard
You guys-
running down
Yeah,
that field.
Just the tights
You guys
thing
should have
just
waited a year.
Just
You
doesn't
guys should
work
have
out.
waited even for Trevor Lawrence. He would have been perfect for those yellow pants, that long hair. Pretty boy.
Now,
golden
now
boy.
that's real film study right there.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
Matt's digging in deep. All right, let's get into. I think the first one up out of all of our favorite teams is the Panthers. Number 8, they picked J.C. Horn from South Carolina, local kid. So I mean, or at least a local school kid. So I like that pick, though. I know people have been talking about it. Not a lot of. I've seen a lot of people not really care for that pick. But going into the draft, Carolina's biggest needs were what, Jamal? Wasn't one of their needs defense?
I did say I wanted them to stay pat and get the corner. I wanted, if they did go linebacker, I feel like middle linebacker was their biggest need because they have no depth there, like we talked about. But if they went linebacker, I wanted them to trade back. I said if they stayed there, I did want them to get the corner. I thought they were going to get certain, but they got Horn. But I love, and I mean I love the pick a lot. The guy is probably the most physical corner in the draft. He got a lot of Patrick Ramsey traits. He's competitive. He's physical. I watched him on film. The guy has no weaknesses to his game. He's versatile. He can play man. He can play zone. His strength is definitely man. My favorite thing about him that popped up to me when I was watching him is his fundamentals, the way he sets his hips up with the receiver is second to none. And for the people that are listening who don't understand that, when you're playing any type of defense in basketball or football, your job is to line up your hips with the guy who's attacking the opposition. And if you don't line them up the right way, if you turn too early, you're at the receiver's mercy. He can do whatever he wants to. He can slant, he can curl, he can hit you with a stop and go. You're on no man's land. And if you turn too late, especially in the NFL, when you go against burners, you're dusted. The way this guy keeps his hips in perfect position and gets his left hand inside the receiver's hips, he's going to be a legitimate Patrick Ramsey shutdown corner at the NFL. I loved everything I seen when I put on the tape. I sent you some numbers on his stats against the top prospects coming out, Travis, and he just locked everybody down.
So you're saying the most important things is the hips.
Well, the hips don't lie, right? No, like, but
I put your hand up on my hip. When I dip, you dip with it.
So many people get lost in just like the hands, and you want to put your hands on receivers and all that, and speed and all that's fine, but none of it matters if you don't have the technique and the physical attributes to really line up and take away what the receiver wants to do.
Yeah. I mean, I like the pick when I saw it. I remember we were texting when it happened. I like that pick. I mean, they obviously at number 8 you have choices and you have a lot to choose from. So people,
first defensive player.
Yeah, people are arguing. You could have gone with an offensive player, one of the top wide receivers. Devontae Smith was still there. But I think sometimes in drafts, especially, I feel like sometimes. The defensive players don't get as much love, obviously, as the offensive players because everybody loves offense, dude. You want to see a running back just run through an entire team. You want to see a wide receiver just come in and catch the ball over like 3 guys. But I mean, honestly, sometimes some of the under the radar type of picks, like a cornerback, a linebacker, unless it's a big name, O-line player. Some of those those are some huge picks.
Yeah, they're very important.
Hey, to your point, Travis, like how many people were really like in an uproar when the Rams got Aaron Donald? Nobody. Look at them now. You try to tell them that Aaron Donald's going to go somewhere and they're going to get a quarterback instead. They're like, no, no.
They look at you like they're going to kill you.
Here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, let's go to the next closest thing. Number 10 was supposed to be Dallas.
They traded.
It was supposed to be Dallas, right? And they traded to Philly,
Right.
which everybody was surprised. It's a
Hell yeah.
rival.
A division trade,
exactly. But with that pick, Josh's team, Philly, you come away with Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner. Josh, how we feeling about this pick? I like the pick.
Congratulations, Josh.
I love the pick because we needed more receivers now that we don't really have receivers anymore because we let go of Ashland Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson. and those two guys were getting injured all the time the past 2 years. I think the only real good year Ashland Jeffrey had was the year we won the Super Bowl. Everything after that was kind of just, nothing really stood out. We really needed receiving, so we drafted. I'm surprised we actually drafted up to get Devontae Smith, especially with the Cowboys. But I was looking for either a tight end or a receiver for the first pick for them, and I'm glad that they picked Devontae Smith because we really needed one of those.
Now, am I wrong in thinking this, but did Devontae Smith play with Hurts, or am I thinking of just something else?
Yeah, they played. He played with her.
So they played together in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
So this is another one of those cases where, do you think? I mean, because this was only 2 picks up. Do you think that Philly really wanted to trade just 2 picks up if they didn't think they'd be able to get Devontae Smith to team up with Hurts? Because there was other wide receivers still there. But you think they really did that more so for the fact that they can definitely get Devontae Smith to team up with his ex-teammate? I mean, I
don't know if that was the main reason. I think, like what I said, I feel like what they were thinking is that Devontae Smith is still out there, and we need a receiver, so why not jump the gun a little early before anyone else picks him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, you still had other wide receivers to choose from. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe they did it just so that they could have ex-teammates teaming up together. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they gave up that much anyway for that pick.
They
to
just
jump
swapped
up.
the pick, right?
Yeah,
That's all they did,
They didn't
right?
really go crazy.
It was
but
just 2 picks
Yeah.
higher.
But they didn't give up any
I'll say
seconds
this,
or
that
thirds, right?
I don't.
I think they gave up.
I
No,
don't
you
think
have
the
to give up
Bears-
something. You can't just swap a pick.
So
they probably
they had to
threw in,
give a
like,
4th, right? Probably a 4th or a 5th.
They
right?
either gave up a pick or they might have swapped another round where Philly was
Right.
behind Dallas or something
Right.
like that. But
Probably.
nothing crazy. Like you're saying, nothing crazy. No.
what were you saying?
I don't
Matt?
think they needed to move up. I don't think they needed to move up because if you look, the Bears were not going to take a receiver. They were going to get whatever quarterback was left. And
Well, the Bears,
Cowboys
but now
were not
the
going to get a
Mike,
receiver either.
Matt, the Bears weren't there. The Bears traded up with the Giants. I think that's why they traded up to jump the Giants.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's right.
What,
So,
like in fear that the
guess
Giants would
could
pick
have
him?
taken a receiver, but
Yeah, that's why they
Yeah.
jumped up. So they wanted to beat the
yeah,
Giants.
I could see that. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like
but
a crazy
I
thing.
like the pick. I like the pick because Devontae Smith, his only weakness really is he's a little bit underweight, so he's not going to bully
Yeah.
any cornerbacks at the line, but he's going to finesse everyone, whether it's a short route, medium route, deep route. Like he
Correct.
has really no holes in the game
Yeah.
Smith
besides
is
maybe at the line of scrimmage.
Solid pick.
so Smith is he's 5'9", isn't he? Something like that.
No, I
Or
think
am I
he's-
thinking of someone else?
No, Waddle is the other guy.
Nah, I know Smith is I think he is 5'9".
He's something like that. So he's going to need that speed and that shiftiness if he's going to get through. If he can't bully people like Matt's saying, he's definitely going to need something up to make up for
Yeah,
it.
I
He's
mean,
going to
he's-
need
he's
to
got
Well,
speed.
he does
He's
attack
6 feet.
the ball. He does attack the ball at the highest point. Like he is a jump ball specialist for a shorter receiver. He attacks the ball at the highest point. He really does.
Well, then that's good though to
Yeah.
have then, because you got ex-teammates. I mean, Hurts obviously. I forgot who I was talking to. I think our buddy Matt was saying that he doesn't think Hurts is the future of the Eagles. I can.
Hurts.
Huh?
Hurts.
Yeah. No, Jalen, right?
Oh, Hurts.
Yeah,
Jalen
Jalen,
Hurts.
yeah,
I thought you were
Jalen.
talking about Zach.
No. Who drafts guys named Hurts and Hurts? Why are we doing this?
And
Just to
It's like a
ruin your
lawyer's.
show.
Yeah, why are we doing this?
It's like a lawyer's firm.
Yeah. Hurts to Ertz.
Earth and Hurts.
Somebody had one time a fantasy football team name called It Hurts When I Pee.
that was me.
Yeah, I mean,
You lost, right? You didn't win the whole thing, did you?
no, I don't think he did.
No, I
No.
didn't. No. I've never won one of those damn things. I always come in second or worse.
Whenever you have like the best name, then you're definitely gonna win it. It's not gonna work.
No, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like that you got. I like how you got ex-teammates sometimes teaming up. I mean, you already got that built-in chemistry. They know what they can expect from one each other. Obviously, the NFL has different playbooks, different strategies, or whatever. But at least these two guys know each other. They get comfortable quickly, and they got that chemistry. I mean, Smith is nice. I like Jalen Hurts. See, I'm doing it already. I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's good. I think as of right now, he is the future of the Eagles organization because it's pretty much their only choice right now. They don't have Wentz anymore, and I'm pretty sure the Eagles don't want to have to go into every single draft going for a quarterback. So Hurts is the guy.
I think we have a pretty good. I mean, I have faith in Jalen Hurts. Last year we saw him. He gave us like the majority of our wins. I feel like when I saw him play, he kind of gave us our team a little bit of a spark. And then, we went and picked up, I don't know how I feel about, we picked up Joe Flacco as like our backup, I assume. But, I mean, if Jalen Hurts were to get hurt, I guess it would be all right to give Joe Flacco some snaps. But I think Jalen Hurts is good.
Is Flacco a better fit for your offense?
See, I don't know, because I didn't think Foles was that good for,
Foles was a good player, but he wasn't a fit. But that's why I'm asking you, do you think Flacco's a better fit for your offense than Hurts?
No. Because it seems like at our best, like when Carson Wentz, when he was scrambling, making a play and everything, and we need like those fast receivers to keep up with the rest of our offense, I think. I mean, surprisingly, Foles, like, he wasn't fast, but, like, he got the job done. I think it's because he was playing the short game, except for that long pass.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Is Wentz running and Ertz running because the line's bad or because they can't read through their progressions? That's what I'm asking you. If maybe Flacco's better if he can make those reads faster, get the ball out faster.
Yeah, I know that. I'm glad because that brings us that brings me to our next pick, who is he was a center with Landon Dickerson. Our offensive line definitely needed help, so I'm glad we picked Devontae first and then offensive line to protect Jalen Hurts, because our offensive line was kind of on the bad side, so they couldn't really protect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was waiting for Travis to jump in. I was like, okay.
Well, you guys were in the zone there. I was just waiting to see what your response was.
I was in the zone with my first question. I didn't need to take Josh down to 6 more draft picks down the road. That wasn't me.
It covered a base that
wasn't my
intention.
intention.
You asked how our offensive line was.
Listen, I'm not saying that you had a rebuttal. I'm just saying I wasn't ready for that. That was the rebuttal I thought I was going to get. That's all.
Hey, so this is not one of our teams, but the team that Philly did trade for with Cowboys, picking Micah Parsons first pick. What do we all think about that? I mean, is that the right?
I don't know about that.
We don't have to spend too much time about it because it's Dallas. No one likes them. No one cares. But I don't know. And then Micah Parsons also opted out of 2020. I saw. I mean, I thought that maybe was gonna hurt his chances or whatever. But you still get picked top 10. You go to the Cowboys. I mean, how are we feeling about?
Have any of you guys seen him play?
I haven't. No.
No, I have not.
No. He's an undersized linebacker, but he does not play like an undersized back.
Oh,
Travis, this guy is because I looked up when I first looked at him, like, this guy's a linebacker. He looks like he looks like he's supposed to be giving towels away. No, this guy is a game wrecker. Just pure speed, pure football instincts, has a nose for the football. This guy, I think that's the linebacker I wanted, so I did some work on him because that's the one I told you guys if we traded back I wanted to get. This guy is very explosive. He's around the football the whole game. He's very fast. The only thing with him is he tackles a little high, which might be a problem in the NFL when you're going against, like the bigger, stronger running backs. They might put you down, but other than that, the kid has nothing wrong with his games. Like he's a blazer. He's all over the field.
Yeah, he looked like he was cool. The video package they showed was pretty cool, but I don't know. There was something about it. I don't know. I guess it rubbed people the wrong way. Some people didn't like them picking Micah Parsons their first pick of the draft. But yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, when Dallas's offense is healthy, they got a good offense. So.
What did I tell you? It's the Cowboys. They wanted to go receiver. They want to go receiver every year.
Yeah. What were you saying, Matt?
That's why the fans are mad. Like, we didn't get another receiver? What is this?
Or a tackle.
What, Matt?
Yeah.
I love the pick for them.
I do like the pick as well. I would have said that I think they needed to go with either a linebacker or an offensive tackle just to shore up that line and give Zeke some more, something like a line to run behind, because that's the only way he's great when he has an O-line, but when he doesn't, it's awful. It's like
their line's not that bad though.
No,
the Cowboys line isn't that bad.
To add on to that, I always thought as an Eagles fan, like even like because we face them 2 times a year, damn it. Like I hated that their offensive line, especially when they were protecting Ezekiel Elliott, but like I think their offensive line's all right. I mean, they could get better.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. I think they're pretty solid. Yeah.
See, I think they're okay, but I'd like to see them. I think if they just get even better than that, the rest of that offense will have no problem.
This
But
is,
I do like the pick because their defense is always pretty bad. I mean, they definitely
Their
need a
defense is
linebacker.
atrocious.
Sean Lee just
Their defense is
retired, so
disgusting.
not that he was ever on the field anyways, but
Well,
yeah.
Dak got hurt. Like, a lot of people don't realize Dak got hurt running the ball past the line of scrimmage. A lot of people, when the quarterbacks get hurt, they assume it's the line's fault.
yeah,
Dak, like Cam, when Cam got hurt, they both did it past the line of scrimmage. They were running.
but see,
No, that was a
what
freak out.
this is what I was talking about, where it seems like a lot of the time some of these players kind of get like overlooked or underappreciated because everybody wants their team to always draft a quarterback, a wide receiver, an explosive
Yep.
running back in the first pick. Like
Flashy.
all the time,
The
dude.
flashy
Like,
pick.
Yeah, like dude, sometimes some of the most explosive picks, like you said earlier with Aaron Darnold. I mean, it's the same thing. Like that's sometimes those picks work out. Sometimes those picks are just as good as picking a wide receiver that's
Yeah.
going to kill a defense, dude. I mean, it's sometimes it is the O-line, sometimes it is the cornerback, sometimes it is the linebackers that's going to make a
Yep.
huge difference on your team. You don't appreciate it now, but you watch like a year or two of that guy playing, and then all of a sudden you back off of what you say. But you know what happens? The very next year after that, those fans want the same thing again. They want the wide receiver. It's not
Yes.
always offense, dude. It's
Yeah.
not always offense. It's sometimes it's other picks. A defense wins championships. How long have we ever heard
I
that?
was going to ask you, Travis. I was going to say, who won the
Dude,
Super Bowl? Not
you-
the best quarterback
exactly.
in the world.
Exactly.
Not the best offense in the world.
Dude,
Yep.
defense in every single sport is what wins championships. For baseball, it's pitching and defense.
Forever.
For NBA,
Always been that way.
Yes,
Never going
dude.
to change.
And all of these, it's like we're reaching a point now in sports where it's getting further and further away from pitching or getting further and further away from defense. It's all about offense. The NBA has become a 3-point shooting league. That's all it is now. There's no defense. It's all 3-pointers.
It's the fantasy sports, Travis. It's
It
the
is.
fantasy sports.
Dude,
They
Take
want
it easy, man.
It's taking over everything, dude. Like defense,
It is.
defense matters in sports, dude. I mean, it's just it kills me that fans, or I don't know if you call them fans, maybe fake fans or whatever, they always want that big explosive pick. And I understand. You're in the first round, you're in the first 15 picks, the first 10 picks. When you see that your team drafts a cornerback, you're just like, I mean, it would have been cool to get someone else, but that's cool. But sometimes your team doesn't need the wide receiver. Sometimes it doesn't need that.
The
I just
best
went
thing
off,
to do
dude.
is
I
draft
just
the
went off.
best available.
Travis is very passionate about this.
You gotta draft the best available player. And I'm old school. I'm a big component of that. I'm a big fan of that. I'm always like, I don't care how bad you need a quarterback. If the quarterback's not the best player, then get him next year. Grab the best available player. Wait next year. There's free agencies. There's if you're still bad, you could draft. You can always trade up. There's always a way to get your guy if the timing's right. Don't just. That's why you remember, Travis. I told you. I said I do not want us to draft a quarterback at 8. The time is not right. I don't think the guy that we need is going to be there. Don't do it. It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. And your pick will probably turn out to be better than what a lot of people are thinking. So
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's move on from Dallas because we
Can I
spent way
say,
too much on
can I
Dallas.
say something about that
Yeah.
though? When you're saying, so you think with all those like first pick quarterbacks, like I don't know, like the Cleveland Browns when they always pick that quarterback that never works out, like
Ever.
do you think that they probably should have like started choosing defensively to help their team and then build a quarterback around that?
I don't want to say
Well,
I don't want to say everything solely depends on defense. Yes, defense is a huge part of the game. You win championships with defense, but on the flip side, you do need somebody who's going to throw the ball and get you.
You need a roster. You need a roster.
Exactly.
We all right. So I'll answer your question for you really quick, Josh, to sum it up to make it. And you guys, we should all agree with this. Hopefully, I don't want to speak for you guys. We've seen elite defenses win championships without elite quarterbacks. We've never seen an elite quarterback win a Super Bowl with a garbage team. It's never been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look around the college today, how many games do you see 20 to 15 or 20 to 16? It's always high scoring. It's always based on the offense. These professional experts who pick quarterbacks as your first round. I mean, the first round you can call it. You can always call it. And I've been following draft for so long. You can call it the quarterback round and the wide receiver round. And because it's a sexy position, right? And if you go, if you go to the second round, you got running backs, you got linebackers, and if you go to the third round, then you're going to start seeing the offensive tackles, defensive tackles, and corners and so forth like that. So this year was kind of kind of a change, okay? So, yeah, the top 5 quarterbacks went the first 15 picks.
And a lot of receivers went. So
It did, but you saw some corners in there on the first round, and then you started seeing a little bit of a change in the second round, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. The media blows everything up every year. It's always based on the quarterback and the wide receivers. And how many? If you go back 10 years, how many quarterbacks picked in the first round failed? Why? Because they were either put in a wrong system. These guys were
more
over.
that succeeded. Yes.
Okay.
More that succeeded.
Yeah, and how many times have you seen, oh, this guy's got a cannon of an arm, but his intelligence sucks. So he doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know how to read offenses. And so he ends up throwing interceptions, starts throwing into coverage, and then he panics. And then now you got these other guys who are a little more mobile in the pocket, right? So they can get out of the pocket a little bit and scramble for runs like Cam Newton did. And Mahomes is doing it now. Wilson did it, and so forth. You got these guys who are very high Qs in that regard, right? But then you got these pocket passers, like some of them in the past were really pocket passers, and their intelligence wasn't so great, but they had great arms. They didn't last. They were gone.
Yeah, but that goes back to what I was saying earlier, Mike, because they're playing against college kids that
Correct.
aren't going to be professional, so
Correct.
they look great in college because they might have 3 NFL receivers, which we're going to touch on that when we talk about Mac Jones later.
Right.
They might have 3 NFL receivers on their team, and they're not throwing against one NFL corner. So of course the guy's going to sit there and make 1 read or 2 reads. He don't even have to read defenses because everybody's wide open.
Exactly. It is true. I mean, college has always been based on the offense. Unless you go back a few years ago when Penn State had an amazing defense, LSU. Now everything has changed. Everything is like, let's get 35 points, 40 points a game, and forget about the defense. And I think that the NFL is doing the same way now. Everybody's going with the 49ers offense, right? And let's just go with the thing that really, really entertains the public. Nobody wants to see a 14-7 game anymore. Everybody wants to see points on the board. And so the defense always gets overlooked, not also in the draft, but also when it's time to play the game. So it's a thing that's going for a long time.
We really spent a bunch of time on that.
I
Dallas.
wanted to say
It was a good topic.
It was, yeah.
People don't realize that the game is won in the trenches. Like,
Yes, thank you, Matt. Thank you.
This is why I love having the Bengals in my division. Picking a receiver where they could have had Penny Sewell. I love having the Bengals in my division because how do you think Joe Burrow and that O-line is going to fare against the Steelers front 7 right now?
It's awful.
Yep.
It's not
Awful.
going to happen.
That's
I don't
right.
care how great you can have Randy Moss and Terrell Owens in the same team. It's not going to matter if Joe Burrow's getting sacked 4 or 5
If your
times.
jersey's dirty the whole game, it don't matter who's out there.
That's right.
Yeah. So I love having the Bengals for that reason, and to go to the point of with the quarterbacks not making it, and like the top quarterbacks not making it in the NFL, the ones that are drafted first and second, these bad teams don't have patience with them. They throw them out there to the Wolves the first year with no talent around them on either side of the ball, and they expect them to be Tom Brady. And it's like that's just not how it happens. Like
Right.
it happens every year with the Browns up until Baker Mayfield, who I do like.
No,
I think he's
no, Matt. Like you're saying, up until they started drafting other positions
Yeah.
instead of quarterback
Yeah.
first, and they actually built the team.
and making them look decent. Yeah, like
Exactly.
they finally figured it out. And honestly, I think the Browns. I used to always say that I respect the Ravens. I hate the Bengals because back in the day, it was like a big rivalry, and I always just like felt bad for the Browns because they were just every year they had the first pick, and none of it never mattered because they could never get talent around the quarterback. They never got the guys in the trenches to give them an extra 2 seconds to throw the football. It's going to work wonders if they have an O-line
Exactly, yeah.
that can give their quarterback 2-3 extra seconds.
The Browns are a put together roster. They're put together.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going
that's...
to be good. Now, they might win it this year, honestly, the NFC North. I think they
Oh,
could.
yeah. Yeah, probably. That's what we're talking about, though. I mean, it's not always the wide receiver or quarterbacks that makes a difference on your team, dude. You need an O-line to protect your quarterback to throw to your good wide receivers if you want them to be good. So, with actually staying on that, the next pick would be my Chargers picking Rashawn Slater as their first pick. And this is, again, I feel like I might be one of the only people, Chargers fans, excited about this. This is not a wide receiver. This is not an explosive wide receiver or quarterback. Why do we need that? We got Herbert. Why do we need a wide receiver? We got Keenan Allen. Why do we need a wide receiver? We got Mike Williams. Why do we need a running back? We got Eckler. We don't need that right now. The problem is...
Break it down.
I thought it was a great
Break it down.
Dude,
Yes.
dude, the problem is Herbert had a phenomenal year. Rookie of the year. 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Special.
Amazing
Special.
year. And he did that with our O-line wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. But wouldn't you think it would benefit the team more to get even better of an O-line? I mean, they've already made some trades in the offseason to get that. But by drafting Slater, who's an absolute freaking monster from what I've seen and what I've been told, I mean, this is going to work wonders for Herbert and the Chargers. The two things I wanted most out of the Chargers, I didn't care at all if they didn't pick a offensive player at all in the draft. If they had chosen O-line and some defense, because for years it's been defense is the issue for the Chargers.
Yep. And health.
That's what I was about to say. It's defense and health, because every single year, I don't know what kind of training staff they have there. I don't know what they're going through. But I swear to you, 1,000 players get hurt for the Chargers every single year, and I don't understand what's going on over there. It's every single year. And yeah, we'll score 30 points. We'll score 32, but we give up 34.
Easily.
We'll give up 34.
Yes.
We need the defense.
Yes.
We need the defense to actually become a team, especially when you're in the same division as the Chiefs, who are not going anywhere. They're staying at the top. So you need to compete with the Chiefs. You need to compete with the Chiefs. The Broncos, some reason they end up being decent. The Raiders, they're decent. I mean, we're in a pretty competitive, for the most part, division. So we need to finish.
Travis, how many game-winning drives did you guys have last year that your defense squandered for Herbert?
Screwed up, dude. I know. It's all the time. Always in the last 2 minutes,
Terrible.
3 minutes of the game, they'll screw it up.
Can I say that?
He did his job. Like Herbert would do his job
Chargers-
almost every game that I've seen him play, driving them down, get the game-winning field goal or game-winning touchdown, and then the defense would just blow it every time.
Yeah.
I think that just watching Chargers games and seeing how they would lose by 2 points, they just had trouble finishing games.
Yep.
And that was really their only weakness, because they could have been a great team. I thought they would have won 12 games with that roster.
They had a 12-game offense, Matt. Absolutely. Their offense had a 12-game offense. Their defense did not have a 12-game
Exactly.
defense.
Yeah, and I like the idea. I mean, I had high hopes for Anthony Lynn when he first got there, but firing him, it had to happen. Like, you can't finish games like that consistently and keep a head coaching job in the NFL.
But is that 100% on the head coach? Because is that all on the head coach? I feel like we give a lot of the head coach and the head coach is more the blame than anything. They do have coordinators for this reason, and they do trust these coordinators to call plays. If you got a rookie quarterback and he's putting up numbers like this, and he's poised and he's coming down and giving this game a drive, and your defense is just laying an egg. I'm personally, I don't like to see anybody fired, but if you got to let somebody go, I think the defensive coordinator should have went and give him another chance.
I think it was both. I think both had to go. I've seen some questionable moves that Anthony can't say his name. Anthony Lynn made that has me scratching my head. Granted, I think a lot of coaches besides maybe Belichick does that.
Young coaches. And we talk about it with young quarterbacks not giving them a chance. We fire coaches every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coaches are going to make mistakes when they're young, too. That's why I love when the Panthers signed Matt Rule for 7 years. I'm like, they're going to let this guy go make all his mistakes the first 2 or 3 years. We can't fire coaches every 2 years.
No. Yeah.
And that's nothing. Look at the Browns. We talk about the Browns. I know, Travis, I'm sorry, because we got to get to your guy. But we talk about the Browns and how they kept hiring quarterbacks every year, and how they also kept hiring coaches every 2 years.
Exactly.
That's true. I just think that roster that they have now, they're ready to win.
Yeah.
And maybe firing the coach isn't the answer, but just the way it ended last year, I just didn't see him keeping his job.
I'm not sticking up for him, personally, and saying he is or isn't the guy. What I'm saying is, they got to let these guys hang in there. They fire these guys too fast.
All right, we don't have too much time left. We got to move on to get the last two guys in there. We got number 15, the Patriots. They pick Mac Jones. We definitely have to talk about Mac Jones because everybody was looking all night for when this dude was going to get picked. I don't think anybody expected this guy to go number 15. I didn't know too much about him, but I definitely thought he would have been gone top 5, top 10. And it was just, I thought it was funny through the whole night in the beginning of the first draft. Anytime somebody got picked and they were walking out, Mac Jones got out of his seat and said hi to them, and he ran back to his seat. I was like, I feel bad for this dude, man. He just keeps saying congrats to everybody, but it looked like he just wanted to cry in his chair, like, why isn't anybody picking me?
Well, let me give you a little thing.
Brady Quinn-esque.
Yeah,
Let me give you a little thing on Mac Jones, right? Mac Jones, coming out of college, experts say his arm is not that strong. He's a very accurate.
That's what I noticed.
He's a very accurate passer, right? But not a very
No
strong.
zip though.
He will not zip.
No
it
zip
right,
on the ball, Mike.
Right, but then again, Jamal, you got to think too. When Brady came on the scene, very skinny, didn't have no arm strength. And
No, I was saying also no zip on the ball. Exactly. Yep.
right, and then he learned and he put a little bit more muscle in his, and gained a little weight, put a little more muscle, worked on his strength, and now he can zip it right through. And I feel that's
Man strength. Yep.
yeah, it's going to happen with Cam. I mean, with Cam Jones, he's got to
Mac
work
Jones.
on. I'm sorry,
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, right? It's going to work with him as well. The thing about him is his smarts, a lot like Trey Lance. They're very smart quarterbacks. They know how to read plays, and but Mac Jones has a very unbelievable accuracy with his throws. He completed 77% of his throws last year, 4,500 yards, 41 TDs, and only 4 interceptions. So it's telling me that the kid's smart and he knows how to read plays. Now, here's my favorite pick of New England. I didn't think it was Mac Jones. I thought it was the second pick, the 38th pick that they did.
Well, Christian Barmore?
Exactly. Last year, they couldn't stop the run. I mean, teams were running on them like crazy. This guy reminds me, when I watch tapes, reminds me of Richard Seymour, and I think he's going to be a great fit for New England. I thought that was our best pick of the draft.
I think it was funny when Mac finally got picked. It was funny because when people got picked and they were coming up to walk up to the stage, they would stop and pick up their hat, and then they put it on, and then go see Goodell. Dude, Mac Jones, as soon as he got picked, he jumps out of his seat and he freaking books it to the stage, dude. He booked it there. He was like, I
Right.
finally got picked. And
Right.
he's basically running to the stage, speed walking. Like you see like your neighbors do in the neighborhood
I
every
say-
morning. This dude just speed through.
Right.
He snatches up the hat, like without stopping at the post to pick it up first. He snatches it, puts it on real quick, and goes sees Goodell. I was like, dude, this dude was ready to get picked.
I
man.
think that
Fact.
this is very key now for Cam Newton. If Cam Newton goes 2-3 in the first 5 weeks, you're going to see Cam Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, rather, come in and take over. So this is very, very big on Cam Newton right now.
Let's get to the last guy we got to talk about here on the Steelers. Matt's first pick. Did you have a first pick? Oh, yeah, all the way down at number 24. Yeah, Matt was in there. Yeah. Steelers got somebody, Matt. Who do you got?
So we got Najee Harris from Alabama. He was the number 2 ranked running back coming out of college. I at first, the whole podcast to me has been about O-linemen. I want an O-lineman, but if you can also find value at the O-line position in the later rounds, which we did get at least one guy that I think has some starter potential, then you can't go wrong with Najee Harris. I mean, he's built like Derrick Henry, 2 inches shorter. He weighs 20 more pounds. I just think, they're roughly around the same weight, but he's also, what gets me about him is he's also a wide receiver too. So he's like another Le'Veon Bell, just bigger and probably not quite as fast, but I think he's gonna be a good fit as long as we can give him an O-line to rush behind. I think he'd be good.
And he's coming out of Alabama, and they seem to just produce like one good player after another.
Animals.
So
I like
Animals, especially on both sides of the ball. On both sides
Yeah.
of the ball, animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the
that's
draft.
like the most coveted school. Like,
Yeah, the
if they don't
NFL
win
draft.
every
It's
year,
always
the
Alabama
national
kids.
championship is,
Yeah, every
It's a
time.
problem.
Alabama and LSU, right?
All
It
the
just
time.
seems like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like LSU for speed and Alabama for just like beast all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the 5th round, but I'm seeing that the Steelers in the 5th round, their pick. Do you know this dude's name, dude? Isaiah Loudermilk. What a name, dude.
Yeah.
What a name.
That's gonna be the name.
Yeah.
That's the name of Josh's next fantasy team.
AKA Loudermilk.
AKA rambunctious milk.
What a name that is. We have it up on the screen right now. Like we brought up all the picks the Steelers did, and And like that name just stood out to me. I was like, okay, yeah. You got all these guys, Kendrick Green, okay, Dan Moore, and then I get down to Isaiah Loudermilk. I'm like, whoa.
Give me that louder milk right now.
Have you ever had milk that
He
was
better
silent?
work. He better work because I want us to say this name on the show all the time.
Yeah, they say he's a gritty player and he's willing to do like the dirty work and play that Pittsburgh smash mouth defense. But he's one of those guys like he'd just be happy to make the roster at this point. He's probably going to be a special teamer.
He better make the roster.
For 2 years. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to ask.
He's going to make it 5th round. But
I'm going to go around and ask each one of you, out of all your 7 rounds, which pick you think that fits best your team and has the greatest impact on your team
So like
coming year
our favorite picks our teams make.
of of your own teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we all don't have too much time. So let's try to.
Let's go with Josh there first and see what he says here.
Out of everybody, T, can you bring up the Eagles on that one?
It's all right.
He might already.
It's
know.
all right. I like there's a lot of good picks I like because as we were talking about earlier about the Eagles, their offensive line needed help but that I feel like that wasn't the only thing we needed help on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we do have like some Pro Bowlers. Like our offensive line is probably the most paid out of the whole team, but I think our defensive line wasn't what it used to be because we didn't really have that much rush. I mean, you have Fletcher Cox and you have Brendan Graham, but we need to add on top of those guys because I remember one of the best O-lines the Eagles ever had was Trent Cole and Jason Babin. They led the league in sacks, I think, at that time in a year combined. So I do like that this draft they emphasized on the offensive line and defensive line. We chose a corner, a running back. But I gotta go with the obvious. Devontae Smith was the steal for me. That was my favorite. The Heisman winner.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
That's
Good
a
pick.
solid
Really
pick.
good
Good pick.
What about
yeah.
you,
Really
Travis?
good pick.
My favorite pick, I think a lot of people, judging off of my reaction, might be Rashawn Slater, but I'm honestly loving, and I got most pumped for Asante Samuel Jr. when we picked him in the 2nd round. I'm like,
I love that.
Yeah,
I
that was
love
a good pick.
I love that pick. I love both your picks. I love that
Yeah.
pick and your 1st round pick. I think he might be the best offensive lineman coming out of this draft. Don't at me for that, but I think he might be.
I'm gonna at you for that.
Also, you guys, I see here you guys picked McKitty.
McKitty.
I think.
Trey McKitty.
Yeah, I think he's a good tight end.
Yeah, I mean, it could work out. I don't know much about him. We could use a tight end, so that's cool. And also, obviously, Josh Palmer, wide receiver from Tennessee. So I mean, I've liked every single pick we've made. We made another O-line offensive tackle, Brennan James. I mean,
Right.
we've made some good picks, but my favorite, I think, is Asante Samuel because we did need help on that defense. You got a defense
I
back there now.
love that
Dude,
pick for you guys.
You're gonna have Dermot James out there and Asante Samuel out there. Like, that's tough to get through.
Right.
That's
Not for nothing, Travis. If you're not gonna, I always say this here. If you're not gonna have a great defense, have a optimistic defense. I messed that word up.
Yeah.
Have somebody who can at least get turnovers for you, and that at least have that, and you have that now.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. What about you, Matt?
So I did love Najee Harris, but my favorite pick was Pat Frymuth, our 2nd round tight end.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The guy, he's
Yep.
6'5", 250. They
Yep.
call him Baby Gronk. And
He was
never drops
rated
the ball.
high.
I think he had 3 total drops his whole college career.
Wow.
But I love that he can block too, because we do need O-line help, and if you have a good blocking tight end, that can
Right.
open up
Yeah.
more opportunities for Najee Harris. So
Yeah.
that was my favorite pick.
That was a
overall.
good pick.
Yeah, I
that
like
was
that
really
one.
a good pick.
You got the guard in there, the O-line. Yeah, I like that.
Jamal, what you got for yourself?
I obviously love the Jace Horn pick, but I'm gonna do a little different. My favorite pick's the pick that we didn't make. I'm glad we didn't reach for a receiver or a quarterback in the 1st round. Like everybody, like we were all talking about. Travis, you brought up like everybody wanted us to do. They want us to make the sexy pick, and we need a young quarterback. I'm glad that to me that was my favorite pick. If we went linebacker or cornerback, even if we went safety, I was good. I just didn't want us to do what everybody else wanted us to do. I didn't want us to reach for a player just to say we got a quarterback. Just so backstory, Panthers got a quarterback. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Terrence Marshall Jr., the 2nd round pick you guys
Yeah,
picked
that was
from
a good pick,
Cleveland.
too.
That was a pretty good wide receiver.
I like him a lot, but you know what I don't like about him? It's what I love about all the receivers that I watched him on tape. Mike, he does not attack the football in the air, and at this level, you have to do it because he has the size. He's a great runner. He's smooth out of his breaks. He has everything you want in a receiver. He does not attack the ball in the air. He kind of waits for it to come to him, and that's the only reason why I'm not. I think that's why he was the 11th receiver drafted because of that.
Right,
You don't go get the football.
Yeah.
As we wrap
like
up here,
the,
Mike, what's your favorite?
Well, I already told you my favorite was in the draft, and that was Christian Barmore. I think he's going to clog up that middle. A lot of games were lost last year in New England because of the running game. We couldn't stop Miami. Actually, quite a few teams they ran over 200 yards on us. And Bill Belichick was determined to get himself, and he had to move 8 spots to get him to clog the middle and cause chaos there. And I think that was a very smart move, even better than Mac Jones was. Yeah. So I think in general New England did very well, and they had to because they had a very horrible draft last year, and they had to redeem themselves and get back in line with the other teams this year because that East is getting tougher and tougher every year. So
Patriots have been making moves this offseason, man.
So we'll
all offseason.
I was gonna say that I like the Tommy Tremble pick for Jamal's Panthers. I thought
I want to get into that too. He is a beast of a blocker, and he's gonna do miracles for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
hey, good call on that, man. Because I want to bring him up, but I got a man crush on him. That would have took like 20 minutes, so I let that go.
Yeah, and speaking of the Chargers, Travis, your wish came true because out of the 9 picks you had, 7 were defensive help.
Yeah, that's exactly what we needed. And
that. Honestly, all 7 of those were warranted, definitely.
Yeah. Dude, I loved how all of our teams did. I feel like all of our teams did pretty well.
I think I think Jaguars were number 2 rated by experts to be the best team in the draft this year. Chargers were 3, and they actually picked New England as number 1. Whether or not that's going to work, we don't know.
Did you guys hear about there's rumors how Tim Tebow could be coming back to the NFL to be a tight end?
Yeah.
And he's going to play for the Jags.
Yeah, he's got the stature for that. Yeah, absolutely.
He has the athleticism and the stature for that. I think he'll do well at that position.
Yeah.
I just don't know why he hung around baseball so long. I mean, you should have just tried for a tight end.
Yeah. Right?
Dude,
right off the bat.
He's absolutely horrible.
Right, decision making. Once again, decision maker. Because he's got a good arm.
What were you saying, man?
He's 33, so that's my only worry with that is he's been away from football for so long at 33.
Yeah, but if there's any position that you could pick up easy, the smallest playbook, the easiest basics, it's the tight end position. You don't really need to know that much of what's going on. You just need to know your position, and if you're blocking where the run's going, you only need to know a whole lot. So that'll be the smoothest transition for him, honestly.
Yeah, it could be like a third down tight end sort of thing. That just
plus, he's playing for his coach from college, so they're going to use similar packages, similar. You know what I mean? So it'll be an easier transition than it would for most coming back out of the game for so long.
I just wish he did this 8 years ago. I feel like he could have been great at it.
I think we all do, especially Broncos fans.
You just want to be a quarterback. It's like you're not an NFL quarterback, but you're just not built for it. So, but it is what it is.
I knew this was gonna happen. We could just talk all day, dude. We all could.
This is easy.
We've already. I mean, we got to wrap up, but I mean, we easily could have just kept going for another 3 hours.
Right.
There's so much to touch on. Honestly,
there is,
absolutely.
There is. So we definitely gonna have
preseason, right? A couple months.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely have to keep doing this. We're all gonna have to keep touching base. All of us on the same show would be great. I mean, it's fun to get into everyone's minds and how you feel about your team and all
opinions,
that kind of stuff. Yeah. But we're going to wrap it up for today. And we want to thank Matt and Jamal for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Yeah, this shit was fun. We're going to do it again, get you guys on here. And obviously during the season, we're going to have to do some updates on our teams and how we feel, especially about our draft picks. I mean, but yeah, so thanks guys. And we're going to get you on here again before the season starts, obviously. But,
take care, guys. Matt.
Hey, take care, guys.
Jamal.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. All right, guys, be easy. We'll talk to you soon.
Be safe.
You too.
Bye, guys.
All right, that was Matt and Jamal with us. I mean, like I said, we could have gone on for hours and hours.
Easy.
I mean, it's hard to sometimes get words in because everybody just takes off on.
I feel that out of all the drafts in all professional sports, football is the most. You can talk for hours.
Yeah.
because there's so much goes into.
I mean, look how popular it is. They air it on TV.
Yeah.
They like sell out crowds.
Not
I-
even like baseball unless it's like the MLB network.
You don't even
doesn't
know what
televise
baseball-
it.
we don't even
NHL
know.
doesn't televise it.
No,
And, well, I
no.
think NBA televises it. No?
Yeah, NBA
Yeah.
is very
Yeah, yeah.
good. I
NBA
would
is
say
the second. Yeah,
I
think
would
they're
say
the
second,
one.
but NFL, you can go for hours and hours and just
Yep.
pick brains. You
Yep.
know.
Yeah, it was a good one. I liked what we talked about. I wish we had more time to talk about more stuff, but maybe we can do it again some other time. But closing thoughts, Josh, real quick. You got anything? AKA
your favorite. I think, like you said, I feel like, I mean, all right. I like what my team did in the draft. Because, like I said, we definitely needed help on the offensive line and defensive line. We were actually pretty good at drafting running backs, too. So, and we drafted our running back kind of late. I think he'll do okay. I don't know if he'll make the cut,
Right.
but I hope he does.
Yeah.
And, we drafted Heisman.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good with it.
Mike, what about you?
I think that us three teams here concentrated on defense this year,
Yeah.
and I think that's a trend around the NFL. You'll see a couple of offensive players in early rounds, and then they'll go really, really heavy on the defense. And I think that it was really a surprise this year. Last year we went offense. This year it didn't work out, and this year we went defense. And I'm very excited about
Yep.
New England's chances this year.
Yeah, great show. We did. I love what we talked about. We're gonna have to do more football ones too. I like these football ones. But I don't know when our next one will be. I don't know what it'll be about. But we'll obviously let you know on social media. So make sure you follow Wicked Bitter on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And if you want to get in the conversation, or even maybe on the show, or even have a question for us, we will talk about it on the show. DM Wicked Better. DM Wicked Better on Instagram, and we will get to it. It's, and if we don't, we will another time. So we're gonna do it. So yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, just follow us, spread the word out there, give it a share, let people know if they like sports. We talk a lot of sports on this show. Even sometimes it might be local stuff like our favorite teams or something. But we try to get as much as we can. And we appreciate everyone listening, spreading the love, and giving us positive feedback. Give us negative feedback if you don't like it. I want to hear it too. But until then, for Josh, for Mike, for T, I'm Travis. We'll talk to you guys next time. And until then, stay bitter.
Wicked Bitter.